Thank you for joining us this evening. We are extremely excited to be here with you this evening after a crazy last year. My name is Sunshine Hammond, and I'm honored to be the president of the Oneida Memorial Association. At this time, I would like to introduce Congresswoman Claudia Tenney, who is delivering a proclamation. Congresswoman Tenney's son is a Naval Academy graduate who currently is serving as a captain in the Marines. Please help me welcome Congresswoman Claudia Tenney.
Thank you so much, Sunshine. And nothing says a great community like all of you people out here in this rainy, cold day to honor those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. What a great community. You are tremendous. It is such an honor to represent you that you're standing out here in this tough weather. But you're tough because one of the proclamations I'm giving today, the main proclamation is how long and how strong your devotion is to our veterans. The city of Oneida has held a Memorial Day parade. Your very first one was in 1880. That's how long you've been honoring our veterans and honoring those people who paid the ultimate sacrifice. So I thank you. This is a tremendous honor to hand you my proclamation today. I'm not going to read all of the provisions of it, but you have held Memorial Day ceremonies consistently since May 27th, 1936. Obviously, last year was a tough day. But ever since 1969, you have continued to support our veterans without missing a beat. And for that, I wanted to present you with Sunshine and our Mayor Acker. I wanted to present you with a proclamation thanking the city of Oneida for your profound support for those people who serve. And from a grateful nation, we are so excited to have you and so proud of Oneida for doing this. And thank you to everyone who's out here on this really tough day. I wish you the best. Unfortunately, I've got to go to another ceremony. Otherwise, I'd be walking in the rain with you for the parade. But thank you so much.
And now please welcome Mayor Acker.
Thank you, Congressman Tenney, for taking the time to join us today. It is an honor for us to have you here. This year's theme for our parade is "We don't know them all, but we owe them all." For many of us, we celebrate Memorial Day weekend at the beginning of summer. We have barbecues and get-togethers with our family and friends. But Memorial Day is much more than that. For countless families here and across the nation, it brings memories and sometimes painful reminders of those who have never had the opportunity to be honored as veterans for their service to our country. Let us honor the memory of those heroes that are no longer with us, and let us strive to live up to the example set by such selfless patriots each and every day. I would like to introduce you to Tim Fiddler. Military service runs deep in Tim's family, with his grandfather serving in World War I, his father served in World War II, and 3 siblings in Vietnam. Tim has found a way to give back by serving his veteran community. He has been key in coordinating a local Veterans Career Fair and helping to designate Madison County and the city of Oneida as Purple Heart communities. Please welcome our Master of Ceremonies, Vice President, Sons of the Dormville Veterans Club, First Vice Commander, Madison County Sons of the American Legion, and Squadron Commander, Oneida American Legion Post 169, Tim Fiddler.
Thank you, Mayor Acker. This weekend, people throughout the country take time to remember, to honor, and to pay gratitude to those who have served our country. Our gathering is just one small spark in the flame of pride that burns across the nation this weekend and every day. It is not a lot, but it is one small way we can honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice so that we can live in freedom. I would like to take a moment and recognize all those among us who have served or are currently serving, as well as any here who have lost a loved one in service. We are humbled by your sacrifice as we know that they are great. We commend the demonstration of courage and strength that you have shown throughout the most difficult of times. Memorial Day is a time to pause and honor our fallen who died while defending our nation and its values. Freedom ranks among the greatest of the gifts known to man, but like anything of value, it has a price. Those who have lost a loved one in service to our country are all too familiar with the price that must be paid. Those who have not experienced such things will never understand the freedom in the way those have, because no one can feel the pain they have lived through. The brave men and women who we honor selflessly gave of themselves to defend a way of life where all people can determine their own futures free of oppression and fear. As Americans, may we never forget those who fought for our freedom. May we celebrate the lives of those who have truly made America the land of the free and the home of the brave. Truly, no American has loved us more than the service members who have offered their last breath to secure that which we cherish. Underneath everything we hold dear is the blood of those whom we owe our deepest respect and fidelity. If you stop and listen closely, not with your ears, but with your heart, you can hear the whisper of the army of the dead as they leave behind a life on earth worthy of honor, remembrance, and gratitude. They unceasingly utter, "I love you to death." I now ask Pastor Gina Gaussman from the Universalist Life Church to lead us in a prayer for this evening's invocation.
Good evening. Freedom is a gift. It comes at great sacrifice for those whose names we're going to list later. Roget and Merriam-Webster define freedom as many things, like liberty, liberation, independence, and rights. Today we are here to honor those who served our country and those who helped provide the foundation for this small community. All around our great nation this weekend, people are honoring, remembering, and celebrating those who gave their lives in human combat. But what does that mean for the city of Oneida? Remembering their service is only half of the task. Today we must carry their love, their honor, and their duty forward. By also remembering that many of the names that you'll hear here today, were brave men and women. They were right from here. They were teachers, doctors, lawyers, school principals, bankers, students, grocery store clerks, garbage men, car dealers, restaurant owners. These were the very pillars of this community at one point. They were exactly like the rest of us, settling here and trying to make a good life for their family when they were called away to serve their country. Why did they go? Some didn't have a choice. Some did. They went so that the small family businesses, in fact my own business, could make up this community. They went out of duty and obligation, but truthfully, I believe it was because they went out of love. They fought for our right to have the power to act, the power to speak, and the power to think as we want without hindrance or restraint from a government. Rob Crowley Curley defined freedom as the absence of subjugation to foreign domination and despotic governments by not being imprisoned or enslaved by such authoritarian rule. He wrote this after suffering 2 debilitating injuries in the aftermath of Pearl Harbor. I have long believed that sacrifice is the ultimate pinnacle of patriotism, he said, and I can see that even more clearly now that I've shared the mess hall with my brothers who I didn't even know. Please bow your heads. Our most holy God, We ask, as these names and stories are being read here today, that we would listen with reverence and respect. We are grateful for the liberties that we experience because of the lives that they gave. Lord, we ask you to continue to heal our nation, renew our spirits, and our resolution to make their deaths meaningful as we journey to create and preserve a union in our country, free from disillusion, from injustice, from slavery, from racism and hate, and save our democratic way of life. Lord, remember in thy mercies those dead from war, and bring us to the day when no more names will be added to the roll call. In Jesus' name I humbly ask, amen.
At this time, please remove your hats and place your right hand over your heart or salute. The National Anthem, sung by Sage Corolla, will be accompanied by Vicki and Scott Arnold for the raising of the colors, which will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance recited by the Massey family.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets echoing, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please welcome Sydney Lutcher of Oneida High School, who joined us tonight in reading the Youth Salute to Our Heroes. Sydney?
I came to visit you today by Shauna Rudd. I came to visit you today to place this flag next to your grave. The sacrifices you have made will forever be indebted this day. I came to visit you today to place this flag next to your grave. It doesn't matter if you fought or not, because with that uniform it doesn't matter what. I came to visit you today to place this flag next to your grave. The memory of what once was you still lingers true for those who knew. I came to visit you today to place this flag next to your grave, to just say thank you on this Memorial Day.
Philip Wright started his military career after high school graduation by entering active duty in the U.S. Air Force. Arriving at the former Griffith Air Force Base in 1973 for his first station, he met and married his wife. Most of his career was served as a special agent for the Air Force Office of Special Investigations. Phil and his wife, Mo, and children traveled extensively and served a total of 9 duty stations on 3 continents. Having worldwide blanket travel orders, Phil served long-term Okinawa, Japan, England, 3 locations in Turkey during the First Gulf War, and Washington, D.C. In all, he traveled to 46 states and 23 countries. Following his military retirement, Phil worked another 20 years as a government contract investigator. Phil holds 2 master's degrees, one in public administration and the other in divinity. Phil and Mo have been married for 45 years, have 3 children, 6 grandchildren, and Phil continues to pastor the Canastota Baptist Church.
Kind of humbled when I was asked to come and speak today. Memorial Day is not meant for beer and hamburgers, although a lot of it goes on. It's to honor those who paid the price for the freedoms that we hold dear. Former President Ronald Reagan once said, "Presidents come and go. Historians and history comes and goes, but principles endure." Today, let us remember those who stand and raise their right hands. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen as often as it has in the past. There are times when service members go and do things or see things and they can't handle it very well. And they come back and they need our help. And all too often in the past, I'd seen that help denied or ridiculed. Once in a while, I have had the opportunity to run across one who was stricken and needed a shoulder. I don't ask what they did or where they went. I simply say I am a veteran and I'm a pastor, and I'd be honored to speak with you if you need it. We should never allow a repeat of the reception the Vietnam veterans got when they returned. It was appalling. I'm not a famous war hero, but I did serve for 21 and a half years, and they did have a tendency to send me places. I bounced around an awful lot. In my last 9 years alone, I was gone 4 and a half. One day on my last tour of duty, my commander called me in and asked me, "How are things going back in the office?" I said they were fine. He said, "In an hour, I need the name of one of your men who will deploy at noon tomorrow." I didn't know what to say. I went back to my office and I prayed about it and I thought about it. And I made my selection. And I went back and talked to the boss. And he looked at me because he knew more about John than I did. John had already deployed 4 times. Grenada, Nicaragua, and 2 places in Africa that never hit the news. His wife was not amused. When I pulled up tonight, about a block to my left, there was a tag on the car in front of me. It said Gold Star Mother. God bless you. My brother was in church several years ago on Memorial Day service when the pastor said, "Greet those around you." And my brother, a veteran, and his 3 boys were all standing within a pew or 2 of each other, and he turned around, and the woman behind him had a gold star on her lapel. He said inside, although he greeted her with all the dignity that he could, he felt hollow. I just can't imagine what it would be like to bury my child. but I honor those who have. In my last tour of duty, a captain sat across the hall from me the entire last year before I retired. We were good friends. We cut up a lot. Our families were friends. We went places together. And then as I retired, I came back to New York. And about a month later, he went out to Washington State. And unfortunately, about a month after that, he was activated to a deployment. And he made it 1 month. Now, my young children at the time did not understand. When I told them, they just got silent. It's hard to explain why he had to pass. My father, my great-grandfather, now we were on the gray side, not the blue side, I'm sorry. And many others in my family have all served. But my father was in a naval engagement called Guadalcanal. And he saw a torpedo coming toward his vessel carrier. And another vessel, and he remembered it because he'd been there. The USS Juno swerved in front of the carrier and took the hit. Hundreds of men died right there on the spot. I don't know all those men. I don't know who they are, but I owe them. Because I wasn't born for 12 more years after the battle. The theme of the message tonight is we don't know them all, but we do owe them all. So may we go this weekend and have our picnics, and we will. But take time in your schedule to remember those who paid the price. When I was a young lad, I didn't know anybody that died in Vietnam, not a single one. I can't say that anymore. So have a good weekend, and thank you for your time.
We now honor all those from Oneida who have fought and laid down their life while serving in war. It is fitting that we call their names in recognition and appreciation for the price they paid to preserve our great nation, lest we forget. This time I'd like to ask Tom Baker, Peter Digert, John Reddy, Matt Winchell to join me to recite our local roll call.
The Civil War. James W. Byrd. Joseph R. L. Butler. James Butler. Marshall B. Hope. Seth Johnson. William H. Kimball. George L. Menzie. John R. Stewart. William Bigelow White.
World War I. Herbert L. Armstrong. Irving Miracle. Ernest Bisbee. Percy A. Dean. Earl Downs. Bernard Dunn. Cecil T. Ernenwine. Martin Girolamo. Elon E. Hill. Lewis W. Howe. Hayden James. Claude R. Johnston. James Kelly. Charles J. Kenny. Lawrence Kensinger. Daniel H. Kinney. Ernest Koch. Walter Lee. Leroy Mott. Philip Nazito. Arthur Pardee. Earl O. Sanford. John Schremp. Earl H. Sizer. Lawrence Ubelacher. Charles Wilkinson. Ralph Wood.
World War II, Raymond Aldrich, Raymond V. Allen, Joseph Baldanza, George Bellinger, Michael Bruno, Robert D. Boucher, William J. Carinci, Richard C. Cross, Donald Cunningham, Orrin F. Dunster, Alexander B. Durkee, Wilbur Earl, Robert Elkstrom, Melvin P. Fargo, William P. Farrell, Peter Fultz, Richard Fura, Paul E. Gallus, Gordon R. Glynn, Franklin R. Gowing, Fred Goyette, Donald C. Harrington, Raymond Harzma, Erlis V. Hasty, Robert Hollis, Leonard Hall, Stuart A. Jones, James Letary, Richard Martin, Bernard R. O'Brien, Richard Perling, Arthur C. Flans, George Poppleton, Arlen C. Raymond, Jonah B. Reeves, Robert G. Roney, Joseph C. Rule, Thomas A. Sansone, Bernard Seitz, Norman Short, William R. Sampson.
Thomas Skinner, Jack C. Stabb, William J. Sauber, David O. Tanner, George E. Thayer, Ira R. Townsend, James G. Townsend, Harry H. Van Auken, Richard Van Nostrand, Louis H. Velling, Anthony Vigilante, Fred Wapner, Charles B. Watkins, Hugh Yeaman,
Korean War. Willard L. Clinch. Ralph E. Dennison. Thomas McCullough. Claude W. Ortman. Otto T. Perkins. John Wand. Otto Winchell. Willis J. Nichols, Jr. Vietnam War. James V. Bigtree. Richard B. Bradley. Philip C. Craig. Kenneth G. Havens. Philip W. Leslie. William R. Porter, Dale M. Snyder, George H. Norton, Ralph A. Wakeman. Afghanistan and the War on Terror, Jeremy Lasher.
For attending this Memorial Day service. I want to leave you with the words of two American poets. One who served in the Civil War, and he was barely 17, and one who was a scribe for the World War I generals. Will Carleton was just 17 when he looked over the field at Shiloh, and he said this sadly. Look now. Over all our happy country, the fields have turned bright red. Over all our great nation, this loss is deeply spread. The band of silent heroes is now the army of the noble dead.